Guys, welcome to the Pure Progress Lifestyle, where the only thing that matters is progress. Today, we're joined by CEO of Lumaflex, John Graham. John, welcome to the show. Now,
Thank
you've
you.
created this device that it's red light therapy. It helps with muscle recovery and pain, soreness, all those big things. You've been a fitness professional for 15 years. I know you release boxing videos, tutorials. You're the founder of John Graham Fitness, and you're also an academy. You run an academy at a golf resort, if I'm mistaken.
Yeah, I was part of the fitness program in Mission Hills, world's Guinness World Records, world's #1 golf course. I was
Awesome.
running fitness. I was the director of fitness back in the day.
Very cool. So I guess the big question on everybody's mind is how'd you get into red light therapy?
Yeah, good story, long story, but I'll try to condense it down. But yeah, I did. I was obviously very, very competitive being in fitness. I was always, very intrigued about what I could achieve fitness wise. So I was doing CrossFit competitions. I was doing adventure racing. I was very big into rugby. I was playing actually rugby quite a bit. I blew both my shoulders out. So I didn't want to play rugby anymore. And I got into boxing and I started doing amateur boxing. And I stopped boxing because I had a tumor developed in my head. It was about the size of my thumb. And the doctor told me it was from an impact perhaps to the nose, which then resulted in the tumor sort of being lodged in sort of this area. So I had to have invasive surgery. Told me never to sort of get any concussions or hits to the head.
Right.
So I stopped doing that, and then I gave bodybuilding a try just recently, which was quite fun. Yeah, injuries obviously I was plagued with injuries throughout my entire sort of fitness career, doing all these different sports. Some injuries were manageable. I could handle it. Others not so much. So like the tumor in my head actually wasn't something. It was just about getting the surgery done and getting it, I was early enough to where I could have that surgery and it wouldn't affect me. If I'd waited longer, it would have been more dangerous. But the injury that really crippled me, mentally and physically was my knee, my left knee. And I think it was because back when I was young, I was very tall. I was quite skinny. I had weaker joints and I would play basketball a lot. And I think I started to damage the knee then. And I just, I wasn't doing proper recovery. I wasn't doing sort of my mobility work back then. I was just young, teenager just looking to play ball. And I think it just got worse and worse and worse. But it got to the point where I couldn't really sit down for an extended period of time, even beyond 10, 15 minutes without it really, really hurting. It become so inflamed. It was excruciating pain sometimes, which meant, being in a taxi for too long, driving a car, being in a plane, even for an extended period of time, I'd have to stop and try to stand up and extend the knee and, massage it. I was using like those deep heat rubs and those heating oils all the time. So just trying anything to make the pain go away. And it was very debilitating because you couldn't really walk. You can't really, do heavy squats. I was very big into squatting and deadlifting. So of course it took a bit of toll on me. And my wife, she's Chinese, and she recommended that actually was the one who recommended recommended red light therapy. And she bought this lamp. It was this ugly sort of, it looked like a desk lamp, but more ugly, like something you wouldn't want anybody to actually see.
Right.
And it was very, very heavy, had like a big weight at the bottom, and you would have to move it around and you'd have to swivel it so that, wherever you wanted it, it would, wherever you wanted the focus of the treatment, that's where it would be. It had a very large red bulb. And she bought it and she was so insistent. She said, you got to try this. This is, you need this in order to heal your knee. And she would encourage me to do 20 minutes every day. And just to appease her, thinking like, oh, it's some Chinese feng shui medicine or whatever. I'll just do it to make you happy.
For sure.
But I remember at night, I'd put my knee up after the day and she would position it there. And she was like, hey, you got to wait, don't move. And the bulb, because it was sort of this older technology, the bulb actually would get very, very hot. And I would play this game with my knee, trying to get it close to the actual bulb to get the treatment. But then it would become so hot that I would move my knee away and I'd be like, oh, okay, take a break. And then I'd sort of go up and down, right? But after about a week, the pain would go away. And the way I knew that it was working was because of that sitting position. I could maintain a sitting position for over 10 minutes and I wouldn't get hurt, which is where I would normally if I was going into a car, it was just something that I knew, like, okay, I'm gonna have to ask them, please stop the car, can I get out and just extend my knee? It's starting to hurt. But this, I wouldn't need to do this anymore. And after about 2 weeks, the pain was completely gone. So that got me really excited about what all this red light therapy was. And of course, it's very big in Asia. It's used for beauty because it naturally boosts your collagen, right? It's something that's been used in the beauty industry for many, many years. So this sort of triggered a lot of learning, a lot of research, and appreciation for what something that is 100% natural and non-invasive. This treatment, not only can it do all these amazing things, boost testosterone, and support hair growth, but pain, it can really help manage pain, chronic pain, arthritis, pain that is such a big problem in the world right now, especially with older grandmothers and grandfathers. Like my grandparents, even my parents have really been suffering from. My mom was her knees and my dad was his neck. And this is a solution where they can manage their pain and actually be free of pain in something that, in a condition where a lot of doctors just simply say, like, this is what you're going to have to deal with this. You have this condition and you're going to have to deal with it. You can take pills to numb the pain, but of course there's these side effects that are going to result from taking pills. And that's kind of where the journey began, where red light therapy. And it makes me excited because, the more people that know about this and how it truly is, it's like it's wonder treatment. It's incredible. The stories that you hear, it's so amazing. And it's, again, 100% non-invasive and natural. It's light, right? So it's, we're about 5 months into launching the Lumaflex, the first product that we've got, the Lumaflex Body Pro. And I'm hoping to go long-term and eventually mainstream red light therapy, allowing everybody to have access to it, in their bag or somewhere at their home, in their office, and to use it on the go, right?
For sure. Now I see it. It's like, it's a device. And so do you just put it on a spot? Like if I got a bad knee, I'll just hook it to my knee. Or if I'm having if I just got done with chest surgery and I need some recovery, I just strap it to my chest. That's how it works.
Exactly that. Yeah. I mean, it was first used by NASA scientists to, I believe they were trying to grow plants in space. And then they realized that it actually has a lot of healing results from it. So NASA science, and then now we've got pro athletes using it. Most successful pro athletes in basketball and soccer, but golf especially, they're all using red light therapy. But the way that they use it maybe is it's like a tanning sort of bed that they have in their house or at their own personal gym, like depending on the prominence of the athlete. Right. And there's also like a sauna, a red light sauna. And I'm sure, if some very, very high-end gyms or clinics or physios or sort of these wellness clubs, they usually have an infrared sauna, which you sit in and you get all this red light to help you, recover and give you, helps your cells get their energy. But the Lumaflex Body Pro allows that same light, that same treatment, but simply just put it into your bag. So it has a detachable battery. Then this, you can, once charged, you stick it to the panel, you do a short press and a long press, and you're able to get your red light, and you're able to target different areas. And then these straps, we've done 100 kgs worth of pressure on these straps and testing. So it's a very, 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 very durable panel made of silicone. And silicone, it's good because it allows it to be flexible. Flexible is important because it can wrap around joints and muscles. So you're maximizing the amount of treatment to an affected area. Like you said, for your chest, or if you have like a sore elbow, you can wrap it and make sure that the light is really getting into that area. And the straps, obviously, you've got long straps and short straps, big straps being for the bigger muscle groups, and then the short straps for your arms and legs. So that's sort of the vision. It's mainstreaming red light therapy, allowing it to be very, very accessible to anyone on the go, no matter where they are. They can just throw it in their gym bag, they can use it. Then when they're home at night, they can charge it overnight and then use it the next day.
Now I see you've got the boxing champ himself, the Gypsy King, wearing it. Has he got
his whole team has one.
What's that?
His whole team has one.
Oh, that's
beautiful.
beautiful.
Spencer Brown, James Ward, I got one for Tommy Fury as well. Yeah, I mean, they all, again, he's quite a prominent athlete, and he's very, very familiar with red light therapy. But just having a unit like this where it's in your bag, that's something that's quite new. That's the innovation that we're bringing to red light therapy, is having it, on to use on the go. But most guys, on his level, he's already got a sauna that's in his little private, spot, right?
Mhm.
But we can't all have that, right?
Right, for sure. Now, I'm interested in how it boosts testosterone. Do you have to put it in a certain place for it to get better results?
Yes,
Okay.
I get asked this question a lot, but yeah, I'm sure you've heard of that. I can't remember when exactly it came out. A number of years ago, Ben Greenfield did a full study about red light therapy and how it boosts testosterone. I think it was featured on like Men's Health or something like that. And yes, for the unit, you're not going to get a testosterone boost here. You have to put it, you have to put it on the
Okay. Right on the goods. Okay.
You'd be surprised how many guys ask me that. They're like, how do we do that?
Well,
But yeah, it has to go. And it's, of course, silicone being this is the same technology used to outline airplanes. It's very, very strong. It's waterproof. It's fully waterproof, not water resistant, but waterproof. So you can clean it. When you buy the product, there's a towel that comes with it, and you clean it. Because where red light therapy shows the most feedback is actually when you touch the skin. I do see some people using red light therapy and they have their clothes on or they have a towel on, and you're not getting the maximum amount of treatment. Best is to go full Monty and get it on your skin. Very, very important.
Has anybody ever asked you the question, can you put it on your face and it will rejuvenate your face?
Yeah. I'm sure you've heard of the face masks, the beauty ones. Like, they're really big on TikTok. You see these TikTok videos of, the boyfriend or the husband in the bed, and he like turns the camera over and his missus has like a mask on, a face mask. And those have been going for years. Like, I'd probably say even close to around 10 years ago, the first, beauty face mask using red light therapy started to launch. But the Lumaflex, you could definitely still use it on your face. It doesn't hurt your eyes. It's just light again. But it kind of looks a bit funny if you if you strap it to your face. That's probably like, my missus has like she has like 3 different masks that she uses, and I don't, I'm not really, I've tried the mask, it is good. But usually if I want to get put it on my face, I'll put it on my forehead to help that cognitive energy. It's a place that you can, in this area, if you put it in the morning, if you've got a busy day where you've got a lot of emails, maybe a lot of Zoom calls that you're going to be doing, you want to really sort of get pumped up for the day. It's important you put it on your forehead to sort of stimulate your brain, and then you put it on your gut. And there's a vein that connects your brain to your gut. And so this, a lot of the issues that we have in our head, when it comes to stress, anxiety, or if we're feeling droopy or drowsy, we're not really getting pumped up for the day as we would like to. A lot of the issues can be solved by just putting the red light therapy here on your gut, and then working with this connection.
Okay.
So that's how I do for my for when it comes to face.
For sure. What sort of a timetable can somebody expect with this, with seeing a little bit of results? Like, so if I had a bad knee, like you said, I put it on, what kind of realistic results can I start to see with that?
Yeah, I mean, it varies from person to person. So I've, in clinical studies there have shown that some people, after as little as 5 minutes, can have an amazing feedback. And usually the best way when it comes to specifically with pain, right? So when someone has pain, we say, okay, can you give us a rating from 1 to 10 of what your pain is like? How do you like? And they say, oh, my pain's an 8. This is what I'd be every time I wake up in the morning. My back, I've got painful back. I'd give it a rating of 8. And some people, when you introduce red light therapy, let's treat this area, just treat your back. Some people, it's like after a 5-minute treatment, we ask for that rating again, and it can drop significantly. Oh, it's 5, right? And then after a week, it drops even more and drops even more. But it's different to each person. But if you're looking at simply pain management, the safe amount of time that I usually give to everyone is, I say, if you're looking to be completely cured, like with my left knee, this issue, I always give around 2 weeks. So usually when someone is new to red light therapy and I'm introducing the Lumaflex Body Pro, like or like a high level athlete, for example, and he hasn't used it and he's worried about it. I say, take the product. I want you to use it. I want you to use it every single day, especially after your training, and definitely target those pain areas, those itches, those little tweaks that you haven't seemed to gone away in your life. And then I'll talk to you in 2 weeks. That's usually what I give. I always give a 2-week time frame just to be safe. But again, depending on the person, it can be a lot sooner. It all depends.
So let me take it back to your story real quick with the knee. You were using the red light therapy, the lamp, that looks like a makeshift. You're putting it on. At what point were you able to start squatting again? Where you're like, all right, I'm gonna.
Yes, squatting like heavy load. To be honest, like the days that probably what would aggravate the need to get to that level of like where it was really painful was probably me also really pushing heavy squats. Like something got into my head where I thought I was like some power lifter or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know where that idea came from, but I thought like, let's get the heavy weight. Let's go for it. And I don't think that helped. And I think probably that contributed to an already existing painful knee that wasn't really fully recovered, but I would just sort of slap, put cream on it, ice it, wrap it up. Let's, do those, those power lifters, they do this strong tape wrap. And I used to do that a lot. But as far as like going back and squatting again, I remember I told myself, I'm not doing heavy weight again. Like forget the whole, no more ego. Stop that, John.
Right.
Let the guys that actually know, and actually have a better body frame to lift heavy weight. Let them do that. I'm just going to do regular weight. But I haven't lifted heavy. Like I started squatting in, so no pain. It's okay to squat. But I never went heavy. Like that was my thing. Never be, above 100 kgs, never. And since then I was like, even if I feel like, oh, I could, let's put on some more, I'm still like, no.
Gotcha.
So yeah, obviously being pain free, you can get straight into the gym. You can start doing all that work. But where for me, the knee was like, was when I was going heavier and heavier. And that's when the knee would really, didn't like it.
For sure. So you started using it and then you were like, okay, because I've been there personally. Like, you got the knee pain. There's days where you're like, I feel pretty good. So let me get a little test. You'll put like a plate on each side. You'll go through the movement just very, very cautiously. And then what point you were like, wow, like I can do a lift here. Okay, really might be I might be stumbling onto something big here.
That's right. Exactly like that. And I think it was more so with my deadlift, because I always could double my deadlift and my squat. My deadlift was the thing that I remember doing like a deadlift seminar with Martin Leishus, who was like 2019. I think he was the world's strongest man. And I was doing 250 kgs, no belt, no wrist wrap. And he was like, let's go for more. And I think in 3 lifts, I went to like 265 or something. I went really, really heavy. And at least for me. So I know some boys that's not really that much. But I remember after deadlift, I remember this day. So like knee is pretty good. So I'm pushing it with my deadlift. And I remember I think I was jumping the weight up a little bit. I was getting too aggressive. I was getting excited, like, oh, I'm completely whole. My knee is completely fixed, and now let's put it to the test. And I remember this because I was doing rack deadlifts. Where you have the rack. I wasn't doing the full down. And I remember pushing and trying to get like, I think I was climbing to like 180, and I remember pulling, and then like my upper latissimus actually started to get aggravated. And I remember it kind of like popped a little bit, and I was like, okay, all right. And I dropped it, and I was like, done. I'm not going to start another injury now.
For sure.
I remember that. Yeah. I remember that was like, because that was always me at my strongest self was always the deadlift. That was, when you get the boys in the gym and you're this young young gym rat and everyone's deadlifting and you're kind of on the side like, dudes, like, let me know when the weight's at here, I'll step in. That's yeah, that was always my strength. But then now I'm just like, no, the knees are okay now. I can confidently do a lot with my knees, but I don't think the rest of my body is conditioned for that heavy weight again, you know, that I stopped lifting, you know, due to the injury.
For sure. Now, how exactly did this you go about this? I know you were like, you made a discovery, the red light. How did you like start the company? Because I imagine there was conversations that had to be had, and some people were at that time. I know it's like it's big with, you know, with the face and the skin, but who did you have to pitch to be like, dude, I've really got something here. Like this is a
Well,
game changer.
yeah, it's obviously you first assess where's the hole in the market, and I saw a big hole in fitness, in a device specifically catered to the active audience, right? There was plenty of beauty products out, even, you know, for oral hygiene. You know, dentists use it. There's a lot of eye doctors that use it. Medical side, there's loads, right? And you know, it's for older seniors. If you go to sort of a rehab clinic, there's a lot of red light therapy devices that you can have if you've had a sore knee, or if you know, sort of as part of their rehab process, right? So there's a lot in medical, but I didn't see a device specifically catered to the active audience that they could use on the go, right? That they can use just like a pro athlete can use it, where he has his you know, you got Lionel Messi, he's got his, you know, his tanning salon, and he's got his you know, his red light infrared sauna. You can have that same treatment and you can have it with you in your gym bag. You know, you've got these athletes with their gym bags, and they've got their protein powder and their pre-workouts and their wrist wraps and their, you know, weight belts. They got all their goodies in their gym bag, right? It should be one of those things, right? There's also like the massage gun, right? That a lot of people just keep and take with them. So that was where I sort of I saw the hole there, that this is what the market needs. It needs a something for the active audience, and whether they be older seniors who still want to play golf, but their back is not what it used to be, right? Or if there's a young kid who wants to play ball, wants to make it on the team, or if there's like an aspiring CrossFitter who's, you know, is climbing up the ranks and is in his region. They all need something, right? They need something that they can use along the go. So when you sort of see that, partnerships get developed, ideas get thrown out, designs start to come. But yeah, I mean, the design of this is 2 years. It was maybe more than 2 years just on the design. Design, of course, keeping in mind that we need it to be durable. We need a durable product. Guys in the gym, they're always dropping it. They're dropping dumbbells on their stuff, right? Durability was really important. Flexibility, obviously a flexible panel. There's a lot of devices out there where you hang it on a wall. It's like a mirror, but it's not wrapping to your body. There is, you know, you can stand in front of it, but you're not really able to do anything else. You can't really multitask, right? If you're on the phone, maybe you could be on the phone, but usually people, it's not a feasible product. I feel like if you're able to wrap it to your body, your joints and your muscles, and you're able to tie it, right, using the straps, you then can multitask. You can like take care of your kids. You can, you know, watch your TV, do your emails, you know, you can go for a walk. I've seen so many different use cases thrown at me from the device and how people have incorporated it into their life. Like I had a golfer who basically between holes, he puts it on the back, right? So it goes to the tee, they hit the tee, and then on the way to the ball, they have it and put it on their back. So they're using it all throughout, you know, their 19 holes. And for her, she was actually on 9 holes. She wasn't, she was an older woman. So that's kind of where I see people using it. They're using it in different ways and it's something that you don't, of course, you know, when you first look at it, you see, you know, these handles, very, very durable. You can think of innovative ways to put it on, but there's lots of different ways in which you can use this. Like there's one I call the Iron Man, and I literally stick it like this. I hang it on the collar of my shirt, and I get my chest. And of course, this is where if I'm working on the computer, or if there's even a meeting I have to take, this is something it sort of hangs there. And that's sort of, so you got the flexibility, you got the durability, the portability, something that, you know, taking it apart, have this charging, there's another spare battery, you can use it, you can put it in your bag, use it on the go, and then being waterproof. These were the key features that we wanted to keep throughout the entire design process, that we felt like by the end of it, if we come up with the right product, that's going to be our selling point, right? You know, the first FDA 2 class, fully portable, fully flexible, fully durable, waterproof panel, right? It's never been done in the world. And most like neuroscientists, light therapy experts that I know, who know all the products, know everything that's on the market right now, they say this is the best, you know, because it's just the most durable. It's the thing that you can like, hey, before you go, catch, right? You can, you know, it's not something that's going to break, or you got to leave it at home. I can only confine it to this area, or I can only use it in this way. This is so multi-useful, right? There's so many different ways and you can use it that way. So yeah, once the design goes out, prototypes get made, and then it's about, okay, how do we get to market? That's the tough part, right? Right. That's the part we're in right now, where it's about getting it into the hands of everyone who, you know, sees the value, getting them to talk about it, you know, meeting doctors, going to hospitals, finding partnerships in fitness, you know, with sports rehabilitation centers, you know, with clinics, with rehab centers, like all, just building these relationships, getting them to use it, and then they endorse it and they get their patients to use it, or their athletes to use it. And then, yeah, it's just nonstop.
Yeah.
I don't,
did you have to bring,
much.
did you have to bring clinical studies for them to be like, okay, let me look into this?
Yeah. So there are, like, even on the website, we've got a page, which is clinical studies. And there's all these clinical studies about red and infrared light therapy. 9 of them are very specific to performance, to recovery, to pain relief, you know, joint health, all of this. And these studies on the website, there's the actual link to where it's hosted on the internet, the actual source of the clinical study itself. But for red and near infrared light, there's over 9,000 studies with different use cases of how they've been, you know, of different human conditions, and the amazing feedback that it's been, whether it be from hair loss or recovery from arthritis, or anti-stress, sleep support, period pains for women, you know, helping period pains. Like it's endless. I have access to a very, very large database of pretty much every single clinical trial that's been used for red and infrared light, and it's just, you scroll this document and it just keeps going. So the way I use it is, someone inquires me, oh, you know, can red light therapy be used for this, you know, some specific niche case, right? I'll go and I'll type it in, and then I'll get sent directly to the clinical studies, and then I can send those, you know, to the person who inquired.
For sure. What is there, like, some sort of, or better questions, how many times a day can you use it? Safe and effective.
What I would recommend, so someone who comes across red light therapy, if they're suffering, if they've got pain, they want a pain, you know, management solution, then they need to target that pain. And I would recommend, this has a built-in timer of 10 minutes. So do it twice, do 20 minutes, 2 times a day. And depending on the person how they recover, and recovery for a person can be different. Where, are you a healthy person? Do you eat well? Do you sleep well? Do you regularly exercise? And now you have this little pain area. Is the rest of your body all working to help, you know, get this pain managed, right? Or do you smoke? Do you drink a lot? Do you eat unhealthy food? Are you very sedentary? And now you have this pain issue. And then red light therapy, yes, it can help, but also there's a lot of other issues with your body that it might be difficult. The pain, suppressing the pain and getting relief from the pain might take a little bit longer. So but outside of pain, if you yourself, you feel you're whole, you're well, there's nothing really, no aches and pains, I still recommend using it every single day. And I recommend in the morning, you know, to help you wake up, to boost that cellular energy. And then before workout, right, to again give your energy before you go train or go exercise, go for a run or play your sport. And then do it after you train, and then again do it before you go to bed. And where I do it before I go to bed is I usually put it on my gut, again for gut health, help digestion, help my body, sort of help the blood circulation down here, just to help because usually, I don't know, at least for me, everybody's different, but I get the gurgles, as I call them, in my sleep. Sometimes affects how I sleep. So it's been a big help for me in getting, by digestion and helping me sleep at night.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question is how does this help you sleep better at night? Because that's probably something that's everybody's saying. How can I use red light therapy to make me sleep better?
Well, yeah, this is something that like I need to go again to the clinical studies and refer and check exactly the clinical study that used to help sleep. But how like our circadian rhythm. You wake up in the morning, we go exposed to natural light. So something in our eyeballs starts a timer that basically tells your body when to go to sleep at night. So of course, everybody's circadian rhythm is a little bit off because not everybody gets access to natural light. We all sleep at different times. Some people stay up late, playing, TikTok or something. And we live in these concrete jungles. And even if you're 30 degrees away from the equator, you're not getting access to natural light, to red and infrared light. Because remember, red and infrared light is available to us when the sun rises and the sun sets. Especially here in Thailand, there's beautiful sunsets, beautiful sunrises. When you look out and you see that orange red color, that's near red and red light, right? So if we wake up as primal human beings back in the early days of the world, we were born under the light and we would wake up when the sun rises, and this is where we would get our energy, right? Of course, as the sun continued, the rays would change and we couldn't be out in the sun as long, right? Because this is actually, you get cellular damage, right? That's when you get sunburn. But also, fun fact is that red and near infrared light actually boosts your body's natural SPF levels. So actually myself, I don't use sunscreen and I rarely get actually burned because I use red light therapy so much that even if I'm out in the sun, especially here in Thailand where it's quite hot, I'm not going to get sunburned. But all that to say, when the sun would go down, this is when we, as primal human beings, we'd start to wind down for bed. Now, this circadian rhythm is like, when people say, I don't sleep well, I have anxiety, I have depression, I'm up at night, worry. It's actually because the circadian rhythm is off. So when you start to fix your circadian rhythm and go to bed and wake up and you start to fix this clock, not only is sleep, gets better, but also you're looking at depression, anxiety, all these start to disappear. And it's something that it sounds it sounds like it's like a medical one, like you fix this and you actually fix something that I'm worried about. But yeah, that's how important sleep is. And it's not so much about you getting, being able to sleep, but it's you sleeping when you're supposed to sleep, right? When you wake up in the morning, that's when you wake up, and then you go to bed. That's when you go, that's our circadian rhythm. And when it's all off and it's not really, that's when, you're having bad sleep. You'll wake up late, you won't go out into natural light. You'll be, in unnatural light. You'll hit the computer. You get all these. This is all bad light from screens, right, or from the TV, right? And then you're not able to go to sleep because you didn't basically wake your body up. You need to actually go out and be outside, and that's when the body clock starts saying, okay, now I'm awake, and now I'll go to bed, right? So when people lay there and it's like 11, 12, oh, I can't sleep, and they're on their phones, oh, I'm anxious. It's that the way you fix that is to fix your circadian rhythm. And that's just following, the primal. I mean, that's how we were born. That's what God gave us. He said, okay, this is when you wake up, this is when you go to bed. The light was there to give us energy, and of course it was there to cool us down and close our circadian rhythm, you could say, and get ready for bed. So that's kind of a little long way of how to explain it, of how it can help, manage your sleep.
No, it makes sense. Now, on the flip side, what about for those early risers? Like there's no light coming in. This definitely helps if you say I wake up at 3:30 and I put this on. This is gonna help get me like going. Yeah, I don't talk too much about what time I get up.
Yes.
3:30 is that's even a little late for me, but
yeah, that's Jocko Willink style, right? That's he's the 4:30 rise, right? Earn the sunrise, right? That's his slogan, right? Yeah, you waking up at those times, obviously if you have the ability to go outside and get the sunrise, that's red and near infrared light. But if you don't, I'll recommend, even if you are 30 degrees away from the equator, like I said, you don't have access to the red and near infrared light from a sunrise. That's when I put it here, and I use that strap. That's my morning wake up. And of course,
okay. Nice. So no stomach, just right on the forehead.
Yeah. Because I have two. So if you do have one, you go one and then you put it down here. But I do both at the same time. Yeah, when you got two devices, it's amazing. Like, you don't have to just do one shoulder, you can do two. You can do the front of your neck, the back of your neck. Obviously, I'm thinning a little bit, I
got it too.
Getting to me. So I'm getting it on my head. But yeah, I get it everywhere. I use red light so much. The joke in the company is I should be actually glowing. I should actually start glowing red light.
Red Lantern, start calling you Red Lantern.
Yeah. I'll be my own little superhero.
Have you noticed a difference, like putting it on a thinning spot?
Yeah, the hair. Okay, so I'm a little bit over a week on the hair test. So I don't even want to look there yet. I want to wait until I hit the 2-week mark, and then I'll sort of check the photos. But what you'll realize about red and near infrared light is when you start taking red light therapy, when you start using it, your cells are incredibly happy, right? Your cells are getting a lot of ATP, right? You're getting lots of blood flow. Your body's healing. Your body's recovering. So you will get a little addicted to it. And this is usually, again, around the 2-week mark, where if you're using red light therapy a lot, after about 2 weeks, you don't have a day with red light therapy, you feel it. You'll be like, ooh, there's some, you actually do feel it. Like, there's times where, I've been asked, like, hey, can I borrow and I've thought, like, oh, I'm traveling, so I'm going to be taking a plane. I got to go to the other office. So I'm going to at least be a day without, my device. And I'm like, and it's a struggle for me to give it away. But I've noticed that, and a few other people have mentioned it with me as well, that use it consistently, that you get addicted to it. Your body wants to get that therapy, especially in the morning times. The morning times, there's a signal that goes off into your head to get your Lumaflex.
Right. Is it like lethargic, just like, those days where you wake up, you're like, you're not feeling it? Is it sort of like that?
Yeah, like that. These sort of days, that's when your body you will really benefit from red and near infrared light. When I wake up in the morning, I'll go outside, I'll get my natural light, I'll find some way to get, like an ice bath, but I don't have an ice bath usually because I'm always in transit. So I'm usually between hotels, but I usually just go to the shower, get really cold water. Usually that works, do that for a minute, 2 minutes. And then I'll do my ice bath, my red light therapy, and I'll do my full head, front, I'll get on the top, do the back of my neck, do my front, and then also on the stomach, and I'll just keep moving them around. And I'll try to avoid looking at the computer. If I need to use the phone, I'll try to maybe just do something if it's an important message I need to reply to, but I try to stay away from any screens. And then I wait, obviously having coffee later on it's actually been a lot better. But I usually, after I do that red light therapy, that's when my energy goes up. That's when normally, because I'm sure like it's something that I think most people in the world are playing with, so the optimal morning routine, right? And obviously it's been proven that having coffee first thing in the morning is not the way to go. You need to wait at least an hour to 2 hours to then have your coffee. That's really, really important. So I think I know that's kind of become pretty well known, but when you have that red light therapy, when you have that session, right, after you've done the natural light, you've done the cold water, right? If you can do an ice bath, that's even better. But then you do your red light, you won't need the coffee anymore. And it's, for me, trust me, I'm a coffee I'm a coffee guy. So after that red light, when I don't need the coffee anymore, or I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not like climbing through the house, like, please, when you don't have that, and you're able to I'll go for another hour or so, an hour and a half, and then I'll have my coffee. That's when your day, that's what the biohackers are all talking about. That's how they're optimizing their days, right? But yeah, that's kind of like my routine, and you'll feel it after your red light therapy in the morning. it becomes almost like a coffee replacement.
I was just thinking, for myself, I would probably just wake up, put it right on my stomach, and maybe just go outside since it's a ridiculous morning routine. I would just strap it on my stomach and go for a walk, like a 20-minute walk.
Yeah,
I feel like that would definitely help me out.
that's it.
If I had my way, I would probably be going full Monty with that, just walking around. Like, that's the morning routine right there.
That's it.
That's laws
Full
around here.
caveman.
That's right. Now,
Yeah.
is this in stores? Where do you usually get this at now? Or where
So
can
I've got
get it?
So I've got two other products I'm trying to launch before the end of the year, but the Lumaflex Body Pro is kind of like our flagship product. And now we're just on the website. So anybody who wants a discount, I can do a $220 discount. If you just message my Instagram, I'll get you a $220 discount for anybody that is listening. But we're launching another similar Lumaflex. It's going to be called the Essential. So the Essential is what we're going to push into retail. And, we've, as a company, we've built up a lot of retail connections, and a lot of them are interested in sort of the first ever red light therapy product to ever hit retail stores. So we want to be that first red light therapy product. And so we're building the Essential, which will be a little bit more affordable for, the masses. And the only thing is it won't be waterproof. So the panel will be slightly different, still silicone, but it won't be waterproof. And the battery won't detach. It'll be stuck. It'll be a fixed battery. So those will be the two key differences with the Essential. A slightly more affordable product that anybody can have, but it won't be waterproof. Not ideal for high-level athletes that want something, that is a little bit more, they can get sweaty, or they jump in an ice bath, or they use it in the shower. So the Essential's coming, and then I'm not really sure whether or not I can launch it in New Year's or maybe just after the holidays. But I'm going to have what's called the Energy Shower. So it'll be 5 of these of the Lumaflex Body Pro panels stacked together, and it will be you can roll it into like a sort of a tube, and you can carry it with you wherever you go. You extend it out, and you can hang it in the shower, or you can use it as a yoga mat and lay it down, and you can just lay on top of it, or you could lay it. So it's like probably about yay size, and then about the size of a person from the waist to the head. That'll be called the Energy Shower. So, and that'll be a little bit more pricey. I haven't decided, we haven't worked out the numbers yet on the price of that, but we'll have sort of the Essential, going out into retail, the Body Pro, which is sort of the ultimate portable, product for athletes or for active, people. And then we have the Energy Shower, something that you can take with you and put it, in the shower, or even hang it on the door, or hang it, in your office, or however you want, but rollable. And of course you can drop it. Durability is a big thing. Portability is a really big thing for us. We don't want to have heavy, cumbersome products that you can't really move around. We want the product to be able to be thrown into a bag and you can use it on the go. That's kind of the Lumaflex vision. That's what we're really important for us.
Oh, very cool. So you're thinking more stores of like GNC, like those type of, like the Vitamin Shop, or that's what we have here in America is GNC, Vitamin Shop, and those two are like the big ones.
They've got all the supplements, right? The supplements and and they've got other accessories as well. Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Brands for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Targeting, definitely.
Well, it sounds neat, man. It sounds very neat. With if you don't mind me asking, what does something like this usually go for, so people have an idea?
The Lumaflex Body Pro is $689 on the site. But if you message me, I'll give you a discount code, so that will bring it to $469. And then the Essential, I'm looking at around $399.
Okay.
And the Energy Shower, I'm not really sure yet, but that's coming. We're gonna have like a coming soon page for it on the website. Start to prep for the launch of that. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it sounds very neat. What sort of besides the MMA community, has other professional sports been into this, like football, baseball?
Football, yep. Baseball, NFL is very, very big into it. Golf, very, very big. yeah, golf actually quite a lot. Golf is a sport where there is a lot people that are usually older that do suffer from a lot of pain still want to play. They still no one in their their later years is still trying to play ice hockey. Well, at least not in a competitive way. But yeah, pretty much every single sport has we at least have an ambassador or a coach or a contact, and they're sort of exploring it. They're looking, we're either endorsing it or they're sort of exploring ways in which we can work together and launch it in their community or at their venue or in their their health center or wherever.
Sounds very, very fascinating. Very, very good stuff. I know you've already said it before, but where again can people find you and Lumaflex?
So lumaflex.com. Lumaflex with LUMAFLEX.com. So lumaflex.com. And if you want to get in touch with me, just John Graham Fitness on Instagram. Just hit me up. I do my best to get back to everyone on Instagram.
Awesome. Well, John, thanks for coming on the show and explaining Lumaflex. I appreciate it very much. It sounds so cool.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thanks so much for the opportunity to share. I obviously it's really important for us to be able to get the word out. So really appreciate being on the platform here.
Oh, for sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.